Wait. I want to hear the topic well. Did you say primary school? Wait. Primary school. You mean the foundation of shame in my life? You mean the groundbreaking point of disgrace? Are you talking about the mountain top of shame, as in the mountain top of humiliation in my life? Wait, let me help you. I want to understand. You mean the beginning, the genesis, the I am that I am of shame in my life? Guy, if they used to give people award, if they used to give people Grammy for shame, humiliation, and all that type shit. Wait. Drake never started to collect award. Drake has not started collecting award. Guy, me like this. Me. You see me as like this. You see me as you see me so. Me like this. Bruh, big man, yeah? And the award for dullest students goes to. And the award for most repeated students goes to. And the award for students who cannot have straight A's goes to. Yes, guys, it's your number one boy, E.K.O.E. to the CHI as a concrete. I know Bongo, the Bongo himself, and it is another episode on my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about my primary school experience. Primary school, fam, blood. Primary school was mad. Primary school was like everything, blood. It was like everything. It was fun, it was sad, it had a lot of emotions and all of that. I went to 2 primary schools. One in my state and another one outside the state, like in the next state. So for those of you who live in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, you must have heard of the school, Monef Kide School. That was actually the first primary school I went to. And for me, I never liked school growing up as a kid. So I never wanted to go to school. All I wanted to do was stay in the house, play games, watch TV, and hang out with my dad. So, in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, we have, I think we are allowed to start school at the age of 2. As long as you know how to talk, you're allowed to start school. So we had kindergarten, reception. I don't know if they are the same thing, but I can't really remember. I think there were 2 of those. Kindergarten, reception. Then we had nursery 1, nursery 2. Then primary 1 to primary 6 in some schools, and primary 1 to primary 5 in some schools. Then you get into high school or secondary school as it's called. So technically we had 9 years we had 9 years or 10 years to be in middle school or primary school as it's called. So I started primary school, reception. That was humiliating, bruh. Like that, this was the beginning of my humiliation, pretty much. So my dad or our maid or the driver would drop all of us in school. So it used to be my older brother and my younger sister, because it was only the 3 of us at that time. So they would take me to school, drop me at my class, or my dad drop me. I don't want to go. I'll be crying. I'll be fighting. I'll be like, leave me alone. So my dad would just take me, drop me there, and leave and run, come back, pick me up, and all of that type shit. So this is how my humiliation started. I'll poo and pee on myself. That was the most humiliating things I ever did in reception and kindergarten. Poop and pee on myself. Those were 2 humiliating things. And whenever I remember it, my family are like, God, they will always bring this thing up and talk about it. Like, that thing happened like way back. You know what I'm saying? Let it slide. But no, they don't. So they keep on bringing it up. So those 2 classes, I don't really remember a lot that happened in those 2 classes. But yeah, they were humiliating points in my life. So scrap that. On to the next one. Now, nursery 1 to nursery 2 was where, okay, I started like knowing myself a little bit, started like understanding certain things I should do and certain things I should not do. But at the same time, this was the beginning of another humiliating part of my life. So I wasn't a smart student. I wasn't so smart growing up. I was dull. You might say dumb. And my mom wasn't happy with that. You know, growing up in an African home, You're actually brought up to be the best. Your parents always want to be able to go out and tell their friends, go to the market, oh, my child came out first in the class, so, oh, my child had 18 A's, oh, my child this, oh, my child that. My child had blue all over his results. He did not have one red dot. Now, in Nigeria, yeah, our results were always like on a paper, and the blue ink means those are the classes you passed, and the red ink means those are the classes you failed. You don't have to think twice to know what my results look like. All red. Manchester Red Devils. That was my result every term. So my mom was not happy. My mom would flog me, whoop me. I could not read, I could not spell, but I could speak. I could like talk fluently. My mom used to be like, why can you talk but you cannot read? Okay. So all that what she said is, what's my use? Like, what is my use? Literally, you can't just like read or spell. My mom was always pissed about it, but that was just the beginning. Nursery school, so my mom would flog me. My dad used to be like, leave him alone. He's gonna get it with time. He's gonna grow and know all that. So nursery school, nursery 1 and nursery 2, all banks. I got into primary 1. Now, primary 1 is the class where everyone feels like, okay, when you get into primary 1, you're now a big boy. You should know certain things, you know what I'm saying? But at that time, this kid was still dumb, bruv. Like, literally, I couldn't still read, I couldn't spell. Then, primary 1 was now like the foundation of humiliation in my life. God. I repeated the class at the end of the year. Like, I felt like I had all Manchesters, like all red on my results. So my mom was so upset. The principal of the school spoke with my mom, told my mom that I had to repeat that class, and I had to repeat it. Now in Nigeria, yeah, we have devotion, right? Where everyone comes out, line up in your class, and then you sing praise and worship, announcements, and you march back to your classes. I wasn't a late comer. I used to go to school very early. Guys, guess what? I was always in the front of the line. Now, when you repeat a class and your mates have gone to the next class, your mates will definitely see you during devotion. That they'll see you, oh, he repeated, and they'll start calling you repeater. Guys, it wasn't easy. At the beginning of the academic year, I repeated a class. I didn't want to go for devotion. I was told that I had to go for devotion. Guys, I was crying. I was crying because I was now in the same class with kids who were my junior, and I had to be in the same class with them. So, but anyway, I manned up and I went for devotion, you know, with tears in my eyes, and I looked at my mates. I couldn't even look at them. And they looked at me and they were like, oh, see that one, he repeated, oh my God, Chris repeated, oh. They carried that talk and kept on talking. It was so humiliating. Then I had chickenpox, another humiliating part of my life. Chickenpox then came. Then I was left alone in the class. That was like my second term in primary 1. Mind you, we have 3 terms, first, second, and third. My second term in primary 1, that's after repeating primary 1, I had chickenpox. I had to be left in the class. What I did was I destroyed all the name tags of all the subjects and I fixed it into a water thingy, and I was whooped big time for that. But yes, that happened, and it was humiliating. It was like the teachers were like, look at you cannot read, you cannot spell. They always like brought that thing up, and they kept on shaming me with it. Then what happened? Then there was this one girl. Oh my Jesus, this girl paid me. What happened though? Wait, I'm coming. So we're in class that day. Teacher now said they should write names of noisemakers. So this girl, I did something that got her pissed, and she wrote my name on the list of noisemakers. This teacher, now, I now went and apologized, said, please don't write my name. I did not do anything, sorry. This guy now submitted that list to the teacher. This teacher now called me out in front of the class and said, look at you, good for nothing, repeater, you don't know anything. And you'll be making noise in this class. You're the one who makes the most noise. And I was like, she now said, oh yeah, go to the board, read, because we had like a chalkboard and the teacher would write out all the notes for the students to copy. So she was like, read it. I was now like, I couldn't read. I looked at this word and I couldn't just, like the words will not just come out. Like, I feel I know it, but I couldn't say it. I couldn't like pronounce the words and all of that. So I was not like, I couldn't read. The teacher now said, everybody, shame, shame, shame. Everybody went like, shame. This girl, sorry, I just have to put your name out there because this thing is peppering me right now. Her name was Rosemary. Rosemary, yes, it was you. Rosemary now said, teacher now said, everyone, shame, shame, shame. Rosemary now shouted, shame. Yo, I cried, like I broke down. And as soon as I broke down, guys, the words started coming out from my mouth. I just read everything on the board like that automatically. The teacher was like so shocked that he had to take that amount of like shame for me to be able to like read everything on the board. The word just boom came out from my mouth, got out from my head, and I started like reading everything. So after that, at the end of that day, I took Rosemary's bag with her books in it, went to the ground floor, put the book in the trash, and made sure that they took the trash away. Rosemary did not find her book or her bag. So Rosemary, there it goes. I'm the one who did it. The bag and books we were looking for, that you had to copy new notes. It was me. Sorry. But, you came for the boy, so the boy had to like pay back. Yes, after that happened, primary two was smooth. Guy was doing well. Then I went to primary three. Primary three, I repeated again. My mother was like, what that means is coconut water is inside your head. Coconut water. Jeez, like that was a shameful moment in my life. Now at this time, my mates were in primary 5 and I was in primary 3, and Rosemary and the other people were now in primary 4, but I had to do primary 3 again. And it was so sad because my younger sister, who was my junior, now was my classmate, and a lot of people actually thought we were twins because my sister never acted like that's her brother. She always made sure that I was good. What I'm saying? She always had my back at all times and all of that. So we actually thought people were twins so that people would not like laugh at me or shame at me. She actually took the fall because when people were like, if you and Chris are twins, how is it that Chris was ahead of you? Then she used to tell people that she repeated one class. What I'm saying? Now I repeated a class. That's why we're now together. What I'm saying? So it's like she kind of like used to tell people that I used to like they switched us from schools or something. She used to like have the good, like the best stories to cover up for why I was in the same class with her. And she always had my back. And right from that time, after repeating for the second time, it just came up in my head like, yo, fam, you have to do better. What I'm saying? You just have to like step up and all of that. So I started like studying. I started like putting in the effort, but I wasn't still getting it. But at this time, I was so good in math, what I'm saying? I was so good in math that teachers and everybody were saying, hey, this kid doesn't know nothing right now, but he's going to be something great, he's going to make waves and all of that. So it's like, my dad was always like, yo, I know you're going to get it. It's just with time and all of that. So after repeating primary 3 went smooth. I passed. I went to primary 4. After getting to primary 4, my mom wanted me to go into high school. So my parents were not in Nigeria at the time, so they called my aunt and she was like, oh, I want you to take Chris out to another school in Calabar. Calabar is the next state after C.O.E. State. So we went to Calabar. Like, Cross River State is actually the state. Calabar is the capital of Cross River State. So we went to Cross River State, Calabar, the capital, and I was registered into a school. I can't remember the name. But yes, then I can't remember the name of the first school. Then the second school, the bullying was mad. And my mom then came back and she was like, no, my kid cannot do this. So then it took me to Hillcrest in Calabar, but Hillcrest said they wanted me to be a special student. And my mom was like, are special students allowed to leave in school? And they were like, no, they are not. My mom was like, okay, then no, he's not going to be here. Then I now went back to primary school. You can imagine. From going forward, now going backward. So I was now taken back to primary school, and I did not do primary 5. I then went to primary 6. Now I went to a new school called Auntie Margaret Memorial High School. Auntie Margaret Memorial is the high school, but Auntie Margaret is the secondary school. Now, a lot of people who grew up in the early 1990s, actually went to St. Mary. It was like one of the top schools in Cross River State. The owner of my school, Monef, my first school, his kids actually schooled there. So my mom was like, then this is a good school, coupled with the fact that she knew the owners of the school and they were like family relatives or something like that. So yes, family friends or something like that, yes. So I went to St. Margaret, did primary 6. This was where it hit me because I was not a bother. I started living in school in primary 6 and I was like, wait, if I'm in school with all this, like I was the only primary school student in the same hostels with secondary school students. I was like, wait, and I saw this kid studying. So that kind of like motivated me and the females. The girls actually liked the smart guy. So the guy I was like, wait. And at that time I started liking certain body types, certain shorties. So yes, I actually started liking some girls. So the only way these girls will talk to me was if I was smart. So I started studying big time. Like I'll sit down and study and I'll be like, oh my God, Chris is smart and all like that. I was like, yeah. I was helping secondary school students with some, with some educational stuff and some toasting, you know what I'm saying? My best friend Peculiar, shout out to Peculiar, man, he was always there for me. He was always like, yo, you can do this thing, you can do it. So yes, I started like studying, started taking education so serious. I started liking, the educational stuff. Then after the first year in primary 6, in a new school, I was made a prefect, the assistant timekeeper, because I was so punctual to school. And we're like, yes, even if I was a new student, like normally it wasn't done. It wasn't like really something that was allowed because you're a new student and there's kids who actually had been in that school from the beginning, like they started their day ones, but here am I, a very new somebody, and I was made a prefect. So after being a prefect, my first term result, I came out 8. Was it 8? No, I came out 10. I was the 10th person out of 40 something students. I showed my mom my results. My mom now asked me, are there 10 people in your class? I was like, how is that possible? Like, how can there be 10 people in my class? She's like, okay. Then the next term, second term, I was the 8th person in the class. And my mom was like, are there 8 people in your class? I was like, can't you be happy for my progress? Then third term being my last term in the school, I was the 6th person in the class. Man was going big on this, you know what I'm saying? And then my mom was like, did you cheat? I was like, no, I studied my ass to get to this point. But that was it. That was the story, yeah. That was my time in middle school or primary school, as people may call it. So guys, I hope you learned something from my story. The grass may not be greener right now, but trust me, to the end it is. Whatever it is you're doing, it might look so difficult right now. It might look like life is not going the way you want it to. It might look like things don't go the way you planned them to. But trust me, yeah, towards the end, the more work you put into it, the more determination you have to achieve it, you're gonna get it. So if you like this video, please do well to like, subscribe, share, and turn on that notification button.